And we're here with round 4. We have Imaad Davids against Thomas van Heerden. It's going to be a very exciting match. And both players, Thomas is 2-1. Imaad is 3-0.
No.
So,
Okay, great stuff. So,
it seems,
yeah, it's blue-white God-Pharaoh's gift versus Sultai counters. And they are just about ready to start, so let's get this on the road.
I think God-Pharaoh's gift should be favored in the grand scheme of things. On the game 1 at the very least. But at the same time, this Constrictor's deck is explosive, to say the least.
It can be good. I don't think it actually has a lot of tools to deal with the God-Pharaoh's gift. Although that's got a braids on the side. Oh wait, we don't have the correct list yet. Whoops.
Well, so Imaad was on the play, plays Ministry of Inquiries and Sacred Cat. One of those cards is very good. I'll leave that up to you guys to decide which one is.
Thomas.
Apologies, we're just sorting out deck lists to make sure Thomas has the right deck.
Okay, much better.
And Imaad with strategic planning to put a card from the top, well, 2 cards from the top 3 into his graveyard and 1 into hand. He goes up to 4 energy. This Ministry of Inquiries is going to mull a lot of cards.
He is going to have a good time. Looking at Thomas's list, he really has no way of dealing with God-Pharaoh's gift when it comes online.
Yeah. The one way you can possibly steal a game is make sure you exile the lifelinkers and swing back. The opponent also has very low amounts of removal, so if you do into race mode, it's very possible you can get ahead. Imaad milling 3. Top card was a refurbished, so had he not mulled, he may have actually just refurbished this turn. Actually, he would have, because he ended up drawing God-Pharaoh's gift for the turn.
Oh, that's unfortunate.
Still think the correct line is to mull aggressively in this deck. You play a lot of effectively cantrip style cards. And Search for a Scanter, the play, it's going to flip the next turn automatically. He has a lot of cards in his graveyard. Thomas has managed to top deck Adana's Climb. Unfortunately, oh wait, he does have a blue source. Servant of the Conduit is his blue source.
He does have that. He uses it.
Adana's Climb.
No.
He's also drawn a card extra this turn.
Did, yeah.
So he's quite far ahead in terms of card advantage. He's going to put 2 counters more than likely on the Glintleaf Siphoner at the beginning of combat.
And then hope it trades with things.
I don't think he might needs to block this turn. He may want to kill the snake though.
Goes in for 6. That is quite aggressive.
I would definitely kill the snake here because your mole guys are 1/2s, so at most he can kill a cat and a Ministry of Inquiries. He also get to mull 6 this turn anyway. Yeah, he's gonna see a triple block on the snake. Oh, triple block on
Wow.
Glintleaf Siphoner, killing both ministers.
I think that was a
mull
mistake.
in response to block order being declared. Top 6.
Goes down.
A second
1.
refurbish and a God-Pharaoh's gift hits the bin.
He's not having a good time.
He takes 1 from that effectively, but trades off 2 creatures there. Another thing to know is Imaad effectively also wants lands because he has double God-Pharaoh's gift in hand, but not tap lands, of course. draws a Sacred Cat. Not exactly a good draw. Plays the Sacred Cat. He can now double block again if he needs to, but I don't think he will this time.
I don't think it's good this time.
Adana's Climb is more than likely going to flip this turn. I spoke too soon. I don't believe Thomas has another way of putting plus encounters on a creature at this point. He may try to cycle into possibly Rishko. I'm not too sure if he's playing Rishko mainboard or the much debated Jade Light Ranger.
Look, Jade Light Ranger is not a bad card.
I think it's good card. I just think Rishko is more important in this deck.
And he goes for the pluses. So what do you think? You put it on the Siphoner and attack with everything?
I think you definitely put it on Siphoner. We are going to see an attack with everything.
Imaad now.
Imaad may want to first search for a Scanter to see what he hits. He does hit Refurbish, so now he may as well chump block. There's already a God-Pharaoh's Gift in the graveyard. Chump blocking here just saves his life total a bit.
He's losing them anyway. I think.
The thing is, he wants to lose them because they have lifelink.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's like that's all good and well. Now,
okay, may as well trade with.
Like I'm saying, it's like he may as well trade
with the Servant.
Take 4, and then next turn gain 4. Yeah, he goes 2 up, loses 6, goes to 15.
Main phase 2, we're going to see a cycle, more than likely.
Well, Thomas knows he needs to now.
Second Servant. Going up to 5 energy, he's going to be drawing cards for quite a while.
And Imaad gets...
I think that was a Fumigate.
A Fumigate, yeah, that's actually...
I think it's actually better to Fumigate here than it is to...
Changes his mind.
Gains 3 life, up to 18. I know a lot of decks were playing Settle the Deckage in the Fumigate spot, but I think game 1 Fumigate is sometimes a lot better.
Oh, and there's a very large Gearhulk.
That is a Flying Gearhulk next turn. A really big Flying Gearhulk that attacks for 20.
It only has...
I'm going to see
actually, a flying 20 is pretty good.
And I'm pretty sure there isn't an angel in the game. Actually, no, he mulled an angel in the first turn. So a 6/6 angel to attack for 6. So Imaad's going to gain 6. The problem now is if the Gyalk attacks Imaad, Imaad may swing back for lethal.
No, well, okay, so what does the climb?
It gives double. It costs 3 to activate, so 4 mana total. So if Thomas is unable to like top deck double here, he needs to. He attacks for 9. Activates Adana's Climb. Deal 18 points. Imaad will go down to 6.
No, Imaad will just kill him next turn.
He does have a snake in it, so it's possible that Imaad won't kill him next turn.
Yeah, sure, he can block the Sacred Cat.
One thing Imaad could have done this previous turn was he animate a Sacred Cat to make sure he has an additional point of life, or additional 2 points of lifelink.
Yeah.
In play. So Thomas is just waiting to see whether or not Imaad blocks here. I think Imaad is going to be forced to try and kill Thomas next turn. Because if Thomas plays a land now, and then top takes a land.
And he blocks.
Interesting.
Okay, so he'll gain 6. Currently losing only 3. If it does double up, it's 12.
And he'll go to 18.
No, that's already included.
No, I mean, he will go to exactly 18. Because he'll take 12 points.
Okay, Thomas just letting it happen.
Okay, sure. So he's taking.
He went up to a 3.
Yeah, he gains 6, takes 3. Almost not playing anything here. Second God-Pharaoh's gift.
Now there's some. Well, it's not 2 cats. That's all he has currently, but that is still a lot
It's
of
8
life.
points of life.
Wow.
So the thing is, for me, had he been playing it this way. Okay, there's a Blasco's content to kill a cat.
Okay, Thomas up. Okay, that was at least good.
Imaad may be dead here though.
I doubt it. He still has another cat in his graveyard,
Oh sure.
so he does
Right
gain
on
another
top.
8.
He's gonna gain a couple more points.
But still, 18 hit is not to be scoffed at.
Could be a bit more. There is okay. There's a snake and a
Oh,
jade light
good.
going to happen this
And
turn.
he's also got blossoming defense.
Yep.
So if he pushes up to 11 and then doubles, it's 22.
I think he can afford to take a turn off to deploy some things.
Yeah, it's actually probably better here to just deploy the snake, hold up blossoming defense, so you can block the one of the 2 cats
The
that
awkward
comes
thing for
back.
Thomas is he's 2 lands away from activating his Hasher Poesis and activating.
Yes. Unfortunately, that is still a while away.
Attacks for 9.
18, he's doubled it.
Sure, attacks for 18. There's a snake. Imaad is on 13. Imaad may just be dead. Oh, never mind. There's a third God-Pharaoh's gift, which you forgot about.
He doesn't have enough to bring back, I believe. Oh, he does.
So, here's the thing. He
Oh.
could have mauled himself in response. But okay, this is actually just a lethal attack.
That is very, very good.
Attack for lethal. So the block was perhaps the correct play there. Still think Thomas may have wanted to pump there instead, or at least deploy the snake, play a land.
Okay, well, this is what they're playing. Regal Caracal in for Imaad, I'm sure.
While Thomas's sideboarding is pretty easy. Trashing Vantilon that destroys God-Pharaoh's gift and negate.
Everything that's good.
There's no real point playing Dudes because your opponent wants the cards in the graveyard anyway. That's unless there's worse cards to side out. I think Thomas is probably siding on Blossoming Defense here.
He might as well. Yeah, so if those come out and 3 negate and 3 Brontodons, then he can also
side out 3 other cards. I think you maybe want to side out some number of Ballista, maybe 1. And then because he's going to be on the play, I think he doesn't really want the servants that much. They're all also pretty slow, so I'd maybe cut 2 servants and Ballista for the last 3 cards. On Imaad's side, sideboarding probably going to be Excellence Binding, Angel of Sanctions, Fairgrounds Warden, Settle the Wreckage.
Okay, Thomas is taking out his Blossoming Defense.
Interesting to see Imaad is mainboarding 1 negate.
It's just to send a message.
Yeah, that seems about right.
And now he's siding out his negate.
I think negate itself is not particularly good in this matchup.
I'm gonna let the viewers see what we're seeing.
Regal Caracal, basically you want to side in as much life points, or life linking points as possible. Caracal also a bit of a combo with Sacred Cat.
It does help.
Your 4/4 life linkers become 5/5 life linkers. You get double life link. Doesn't actually exist, although you can make it happen if you're playing modern. Play a card like the card lifelink, I think.
No,
lifelink gives you lifelink.
It's Spirit Link.
Yeah, Spirit Link and Vampiric Link.
Yes.
Are the 2 that can give you double lifelink. You'll gain twice the amount of damage. Ironically enough, with Spirit Link and Vampiric Link, if you put it on a Death Shadow, you can just never die to Death Shadow itself. Because you gain the life, not its controller slash owner.
That is rude.
It was pretty funny because my opponent was like, I'll team a battle rage you, so kill you and then you gain the life. No, it's I gain the life as the damage is dealt.
Okay, they're just about ready to start, it seems. And I still think Imaad is favored.
I also agree. I think Imaad is pretty favored in the matchup. The way that Thomas wins is, as you saw, that game 2 was very close. He could have possibly killed Imaad. Imaad, like he was actually an attack away slash a land away.
Yeah. If he got, like, okay, well, we can't say if he got lands earlier because then he wouldn't have had that play out anyway.
I think because the angel was blocking, maybe he should have pumped. Deal his opponent 12.
I think he should have pumped there because he wasn't doing anything else that turn.
Like, because the Braskus Contempt the next turn basically ate a cat that was only gaining 8, effectively. Then the next turn he ended up top decking a Blossoming Defense.
And Thomas is very likely not keeping that. And he is. That doesn't look good to me. Not from here, at least. I do see a negate in his hand.
That is a reason to keep. He also does keep his energy because the Siphoner will replace the energy. And his opponent doesn't really have a way to kill Peaches. Surprising that he leads with Servant instead of Siphoner.
I think he wants to go with the Hydra next turn. I think he wants to make it as quick as possible. He knows Imaad can't do much.
Yeah, in the early
in the game.
That Angel's more than likely hitting the burn because there's a chart the course. Or chart A course?
Chart A course.
Yeah.
And Thomas has been top decking lands.
Bristling Hydra. I spoke to Imaad about this blue-white deck a couple of times. He's under the belief that this deck is actually an aggro deck. You need to be as aggressive as possible. And I sometimes tend to agree with him because there's a lot of ways your deck loses. One of which is you run out of threats. So if you can't kill them before you run out of threats, it's pretty hard for you to win.
I've seen it quite a few times where these decks go to time just because they literally don't have any more creatures in the graveyard or hand or a library for that matter. Okay, Thomas should,
like, while playing blue-black control, I played against God-Pharaoh's Gift in Port Elizabeth, and basically the way I won, even though it's a pretty bad matchup in general because you can't actually answer artifacts, is I exiled anything that wasn't brought back by God-Pharaoh's Gift that costed more than 4 CMC, because then my Fatal Pushes could actually kill things.
sure.
Exiling with Rascal's Contempt, to be exact.
Comes in for 7. I guess Imaad feels he can,
And I do believe he top decked to refurbish that turn.
so he's now just digging for the answer.
Thomas just refamiliarizing himself with Champion of Wits.
And Imaad's hand does not look good, hey?
Not in this situation. Not at all. He's more than likely going to have to chump block that Hydra. And... oh wait, he can't.
He can't, he already tapped out.
I think that was a bit greedy then. I suppose you try and have, well, if he gets God-Pharaoh's Gift off that mill, he looks like a genius.
Look, it's, I think if he has it, he does, like, he gets it. If he doesn't, it was still a fine play.
I think Thomas is actually going to sandbag that Brontodon, which think I saw in his hand, until his opponent plays a
Well,
card
we
for
know
this
he's
game.
got a negate and he's got a fatal push, and then the other two cards is the question. Servant of the Conduit, and
I think it's a Brontodon.
it might just
Pretty sure
be.
he doesn't have Heroic Intervention in his sideboard. He might.
He goes Big Hydra.
He's gonna pump Hydra so he can flip down his climb.
Go 3, go flip.
And once it is flipped, it's pretty hard for Imaad to actually deal with the card.
Make Hydra 14.
Attack for lethal.
And
no
it's
settle here.
quick. Quick and dirty. That was turn 4, I believe. Turn 5.
Turn 5. I think slightly slower than my fastest skill with green black.
Well, look, I think can get very rude very quickly. And I think that's the way that you beat this deck. You do kind of need to be on the play to do that, though.
Yep.
On the draw, you're not getting into that position before Imaad has answers in hand, I think.
Think so too.
Although, I mean, what can he really have that can deal in the first 4 turns? He only runs the one cast out. He might have put a second one in from the side, I'm not sure.
I think he's more than likely to bring an Excellence Binding. His opponent's playing a bunch of 4s for the same effect. I don't think he actually sided them in. I think his game plan here is not to really interact with his opponent, just try and
try to be there faster.
He does have a lot of ways to gain life. I'm pretty sure he sides in the Settle the deck when he has the main board Fumigate. Settle is a way to sort of deal with your opponent who is siding in a bunch of, well, who is basically an attacking deck only for the most part. You can win with Ballista, but it's unlikely in this type of match.
No, he's probably not going to. Well, I mean, we can see.
Thomas's sideboard is actually very, very linear. It's basically 5 Theos to the same effect, effectively.
Well, I guess he's got a plan. It's like, I'm either going to beat you or I'm going to beat you.
Cartouche Ambition is actually an interesting card here because of the lifelink.
I think it's because of the other aggro matches he expects.
Yeah.
Sometimes. I do think it's a bad call for today. Except maybe if he was playing against Wolof every turn. Well, every round. But it looks like they're drawing their 7, so let's get back in there.
I think Cartouche on Hydra is pretty ridiculous.
That is pretty rude.
+1/+1 lifelink hexproof every single time with energy.
Wow. Okay.
Oh, he might have drawn into Settle the Decade. And he has a bunch of lands in hand. Strategic planning. Sees a Fairgrounds Warden, probably going to keep that unless he needs a land, which I don't think he does. He might need a Plains though.
No, he does go that route.
Snake. He mulls himself for 3. Cast out one of them. It's Champion of Woods and a Refurbish. Seems to keep hitting Refurbish.
And now he went and drew Search of Scanter.
I think you just cast the search here.
He's going for the Warden.
Oh, Fairgrounds Warden on the Snake.
Sure.
Last turn.
I think that's a fine play.
Snake is one of the ways his opponent can get out of hand very quickly.
I mean, he's already gone quite deep. Well, 6 cards into his graveyard. Hasn't seen any of the things that he wants to see.
But he just probably stays on top. Thomas does have the lands to cast it.
Definitely. No.
Oh, he's burning it the second time.
Wins that too. Okay. Guess he doesn't need it. Oh. Well, there's the one off Ballaster.
He just top decks the Refurbish, so that's a good start. Champion of Wits.
Now then. Draws nothing good.
Probably discards a bunch of lands.
Yeah, he's got 2 hands big there.
The thing is, he definitely wants to make his land drop this turn.
Oh, it's actually quite hard. What is that, another champion?
Yeah, he discards
Well,
Champion of Wits.
that's probably a fine play. We can bring it back soon, if he doesn't get the God-Pharaoh's gift anyway.
You see, the pseudo mode of Search for a Scanter in this deck specifically is, it's actually Farseek.
Sure.
Because it doesn't produce mana that turn that it comes down, but it produces mana the next turn. Now we are going to see Search for a Scanter. And he does have God-Pharaoh's Gift in hand, so had he played Search for a Scanter the previous turn,
it would have been in the
it
graveyard.
may have been in the graveyard. It's no guarantee though, because he did actually discard 2 cards, the Champion of Wits, and do 2 cards. Jump blocks the Champion of Wits.
I don't think he really has a choice.
Thomas does have the Brontodon.
Is that like a good play there for Thomas? I mean, I guess he wants to commit to the board instead of pushing up the ballista.
I think pumping the ballast is pretty good because you get ping for 1 against.
Yeah, you pump it up to 2 ping and then hit him for 4.
Because you're not forced to flip the Adonis Climb until you need to or want to. But burning the land. I think he top decked the second refurbish.
Can't really see.
Because he has God-Pharaoh's Gift refurbish and
he does
settle
have
the wreckage.
Yeah, settle the wreckage
hand.
also there.
So the second refurbish is a good start. He may end up getting to 7 mana before he can actually find a way to discard this.
So I guess Thomas just swings in with everything but the ballista.
I think you could even swing in with the ballista if you wanted to. Because you could pump. Okay, there's a settled wreckage. It's going to be pretty painful, but Thomas does have negate in hand.
I think he should play it out right now. No?
Thomas valuing negating
the refurbish
either
instead.
refurbish or a God-Pharaoh's gift
instead.
But more than settle. He does have a bunch of cards in hand. Glensweep Siphoner has been... Oh, yeah, only dream 1 card actually, so you should be on 19. And there we are going to see Brontodon. Imaad top deck Angel of Invention.
And that is...
It's just going to be a vanilla 4-4 or 4-3 flying Vigilance Lifelink. Ping it with the Explore, well, the trigger on the stack.
So he definitely gets 2 1/1s.
So there's no way you can actually stack it to
Make
like
it
let it happen. Like, oh, you're gonna put counters, I'll ping it. It doesn't work that way. Once the trigger is on the stack and it's about to resolve, your opponent picks a mode, then it resolves immediately. You can't respond.
Loses 1.
You're going to see Bursting Hydra as the follow-up.
It does seem to be the best option here.
And while Thomas is holding this negate in hand, there's just going to be a point where Imaad may actually just want to draw lands here to try and get to the activation of either the Champion of Wits in his graveyard or he top deck cast out. It's pretty good.
And I do see a Consult the Authority in his hand. I think. No, it's not. Never mind. Cast out is gonna.
Well, it's definitely going to target the Brontodon.
Then the Brontodon is gonna.
Sack and kill the cast out, I guess.
The other one, not the one be targeting it.
Okay, no, he'd probably kill the servo then.
No, I would go for the cast out.
That's a Fairgrounds Warden, so you can't actually.
Oh, sure, it's not a cast out. Yeah, then I guess you just shoot the servo because servos must die.
So what? He's gonna shoot the servo now anyway.
Okay, there's.
Imaad's gonna attempt to cast out this Brontodon.
Down 7.
He's activating Search for Scanter instead. That's a couple of cards you don't want to be bottoming. Angel of Inventions, Angel of Sanctions.
Oh, that is unfortunate. Draws
an Angel of Invention. And it's gonna get blown out again by this Ballista. It's gonna be 2 more chump blockers, which I think he won't mind either way. And Thomas just has to decide. He has Vraska's Contempt in hand, so he may actually let Imaad decide whether or not to put counters on it. And he's going to get servos anyway.
Okay. Unfortunately, I don't think Thomas is in the driving seat yet.
I think Thomas's board position is probably a position I'd like to be in over Imaad's.
Look, he's in a very good position, but he's not ahead yet.
I think had Imaad not missed 2 land drops, or had he not missed as many land drops as he has, he would be in a much better position than he is currently.
Okay, so Angel's dead, as expected. And that would be Adonis Climb coming down. Thomas just trying to decide what is the best thing to tap.
Cosmos a counter on Bristling Hydra. Move to attacks. There's going to be a single jump block there.
And 3 down.
Yes, top deck, chart a course.
That is a very good top deck. Can he get it?
I don't think he's going to end up top decking into a land, unfortunately, but he is going to win a God-Pharaoh's Gift. Thomas is more than likely going to deal with the God-Pharaoh's Gift in one of 2 ways, either by sacking the Brontodon or negating the refurbish.
I would start with the negate. Imaad can't play it this turn, I believe, because he doesn't have mana.
Yeah, I think he's just passing the turn, yeah? Not too sure what he has in hand that he gets to pass the turn.
Nothing good.
I think he was supposed to just play the strategic planning. Hopefully get another land.
Thomas looking at it, he's got a pretty stacked hand as well. I think he just needs to go into combat here first.
Yeah, Imaad's pretty far away from another settle / fumigate.
Yeah. Put another counter on the Hydra. Get another 3 in. Except if he's got a way to actually deal.
Yeah, so Thomas is giving the Hydra hexproof. Going to flip search first. Or flip Adonis Climb. Attack for a almost lethal attack. Oh, it is exactly a lethal attack.
It's more than enough. It's more than enough.
You might just spend too much time sort of grinding, trying to find the right cards.
Yeah, like I think the second game, Imaad was very unlucky in the sense that he did not get the pieces he was expecting to or hoping to.
Yeah.
Which is, well,
this game Thomas actually had to play some magic.
Yeah, but I mean, at least it was good. But yeah, then so if Thomas was the pair down, I'm actually not sure if we're going to be seeing him in the final match.
Yeah, because anything could happen now.
Anything could happen at this stage. But we will be here for the last round soon, and hopefully it's a good one.
Cool.